So I'm thrilled to introduce our first speaker, who is Ethan Buchman, one of the mentors in the CDL Toronto blockchain stream. Ethan is a co-founder of the Tendermint and Cosmos projects and CEO of Informal Systems, which is a company focused on verifiable distributed systems and organizations. If you ask Ethan to describe himself, he'll describe himself as an internet biophysicist, sustainability existentialist, and plain text evangelist. That's why we don't usually ask people to describe themselves. What's relevant for what Ethan's going to do today is that he is the most articulate and clear speaker that I have encountered on blockchain. He talks about it with the clarity of a seasoned educator. And so I'm thrilled that Ethan's going to have the first opportunity to talk to you today about what's going on in the blockchain stream.
Thanks so much, Mara. Hi, everyone. I'm Ethan Buchman. I'm the co-founder of the Cosmos project, which is now probably the most popular blockchain application development platform after Ethereum. To give you an idea of where blockchains have come in the last 5 years, in 2016, we brought Cosmos through the CDL before the blockchain stream existed. We were pitching a vision of a proliferation of energy efficient proof-of-stake blockchains, ideas of sovereignty and interoperability for the world's communities. And we were poorly understood, probably rightly so, and we were dropped after the third session. And 5 years later, that vision we were pitching is really a reality. The Cosmos technology secures over $50 billion in market cap across a dozen or so cryptocurrencies, including some of the most widely used ones, the Binance chain, Tehrani, Crypto.com, and of course the Cosmos Hub hosting the Atom token. So, since January of this year, the crypto market cap itself has been collectively above $1 trillion. That's not something that can be ignored anymore if you were able to ignore it at all before. So what are some of the recent advances that made that happen? Well, socially, we've seen pretty large institutional adoption. We're seeing Bitcoin on the balance sheet of large companies. We're seeing more and more companies support cryptocurrency payments. Technologically, what's happened is that proof-of-stake thesis that Cosmos pioneered for energy-efficient blockchains is really being proven out. We're seeing more and more of these proof-of-stake chains launching every month, providing new flexibility, new functionality for application developers and for their communities. So if we ask, what are these applications? They're being built on Ethereum and on these proof-of-stake chains. Well, if you haven't been living under a rock for the last year, you've probably heard of DeFi and NFTs. That's decentralized finance and non-fungible tokens. And both of these have seen an explosion of usage over the last year or so. Last summer especially came to be known as DeFi summer because there was really just an explosion of usage actually in decentralized finance protocols, especially those offering high yields. And a lot of this was enabled by new mechanisms for passive and algorithmic liquidity provision on decentralized exchanges that has enabled an ocean of liquidity, let's say, to emerge on these decentralized blockchain exchanges to rival traditional centralized ones. So we have systems like Uniswap, a decentralized exchange on Ethereum, now with trading volumes that rival Coinbase, which is now a publicly listed company. So what's the importance of all this? Well, a lot of people will talk about decentralization or democratization of finance. That's the DeFi term, and things like making the financial system more accessible, transparent, open, permissionless. All this is great. We are making good progress towards that. But at the same time, there's a real risk that we're just going to rebuild a lot of the existing flaws of the existing financial system on top of less well-regulated infrastructure. And of course, that's scary and dangerous and something we need to be aware of as we're building. But if you look a little bit deeper, I think there's something more fundamental going on, which is that we are in the early stages of a monetary revolution. We are beginning as a society to reckon with the mimetic nature of money. That money is backed by means. It's not backed by metals. Is backed by the beliefs and values of communities. And this poses a question for us as a global society. How do we build financial and monetary systems that actually respect and honor those values, right? And this was sort of the Cosmos vision, that we could enable communities to be sovereign over their own economic lives, to use infrastructure that reflects their values, but still enables them to interoperate. And so while DeFi is experimenting with new primitives for finance and mechanism design and monetary systems, and we have these amazing, real economic experiments, the more important thing is what I call working towards bridging the gap from local to global money and back for a more sustainable financial system. So just briefly, if we talk about some of the commercial opportunities that exist today that were maybe less exciting 5 years ago, I've identified, say, 4 major categories that the CDL stream this year had some good representation from each. So the first is taking crypto mainstream. So we have companies like Moon Technologies for payments, Merkle Science for compliance. The second category is making it easier to build on Ethereum or others. So we have companies like Biconomy and BiddleHub making the Ethereum tech more accessible or cheaper to deploy applications on. Then there are those companies that are using blockchains as a backend to leverage trust, security, verifiability for some real world use case. So companies like AdHash disrupting the advertising market, UCropit focusing on finance. And finally, we have companies in the DeFi space itself, Maple and Teller focusing on credit markets, credit ratings, access to credit for small businesses, and so on. So while there's many new commercial opportunities, the thing that's really most exciting to me are about real world systems to enable local communities to trade and build wealth independent of the ebbs and flows of the global financial system. And that's really what I'm in it for. Thanks so much.